What is up, JG Crew? Welcome back to another video. And today, um, you're going to be doing another video. And today it's going to be about leaks for the upcoming season, Fortnite Chapter 6, Season 3. If you're confused, this season is called Fortnite Chapter 6 Mid-Season 1. And before we get going, I just want to ask you guys if you could please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, something I want to note is that I have not been posting as much lately. That has been because I've been busy on the sports channel. I've been just live streaming a lot of basketball games, including I will tonight. So I'm streaming almost every night, or rather every night, pretty late on that channel. So I really don't have the time to make videos, but I'm doing what I can. So there'll be less uploads for the next little bit, but I think we're coming out of that window where we're going to be able to upload more on this channel. Nonetheless, let's jump into the conversation about the leaks for Chapter 6, Season 3. So what's the theme? First thing we have, superheroes is the theme. And a lot of people are going to say, well, we've seen this before, right? In a way, I guess, if you consider the Marvel season superhero. I think the way, guys, that Fortnite theme seasons are going to be now is they're going to do it where it's going to be like, how do you describe it? It's going to be like remixes. A lot of like, they're kind of making old themes and making new versions of them, right? That's what they're doing. Like, that's the Star Wars season, that's last season a loss, although they executed it atrociously. They're trying to make the theme and rework it, which I think is fine. You know, people complain about how they don't like when a season is the same theme and they rework it. But I don't care. I think that works for everybody. I think everyone enjoys that, and that's what Fortnite's all about, is the community happy. I think the most important thing next season with the superhero theme is that they can add some cool things, you know, and things I want them to really carry on from the season is medallions and mythic weapons are not like the biggest deal in the world where it's like a mission and it really makes the game repetitive all the time. Which would definitely be unfortunate if that happens, but I think it's going to be like this season. I hope it is. And that's really about it, so that you can kind of land anywhere you would like, and you can play the game very differently, and it's a lot of go at your own pace kind of thing, which I personally enjoy a ton. I personally am that guy who enjoys that normal, like, slow pace of play. And some of you are different, but I'm a slow pace of play guy. I like playing slower paces, and I like getting what I want and landing where I want so I can play, because I think that's how battle royales can be. Obviously, you know, if they're going to make straw mythics, I think they need to make it where, like, Chapter 4 Season 2, where the bosses don't spawn necessarily right away. Maybe they spawn at, let's say, like, first zone. Or not first zone, second zone. Like, you know, they spawn, instead of right off the jump, the boss spawns you can land on them. The boss doesn't spawn for the first 5 minutes. You know? That's been like something that people have complained about these new storm circles, or ever since that Chapter 4 Season 2, was the game is too long. Well, part of that is that the early game takes so long to finish. Because, or there's less people dead in the early game. Because there's so many people alive, because a medallion is cleaned up so there's barely anything to fight for, right? And people are just playing at a very slow pace, unless you went in there to get the medallion. That's about it. I think if we can allow, like, bosses to spawn in for, say, 5 minutes into the game next season, like a superhero boss with a powerful mythic, that's where we can make medallions more of a, you really, really want it. That was my favorite part of Chapter 4 Season 2. Although medallions didn't exist, there were still some great weapons you can get from those vaults. In that legendary slurp juice, and if you remember that, guys, it literally basically reset the fight for you. The Mythic Havoc Pump Shotgun, which at one point one-shot headshot in 0 builds, including. So it was really strong and really a gun you want to have. So stuff like that. where there's weapons that you definitely want. But I think that's the counteractive thing to it is they have two options when it comes to the boss. What's next season? Um, Either make the medallions and mythic weapons not too strong. We can have it off spawn like we do now, and people can play at their normal slow pace and kind of land where they'd like to land. Or, so that people can land when they'd like to land, you have a boss that spawns that has a medallion and a strong mythic, but the boss doesn't spawn for the first 5 minutes, which allows people to loot up and get what they want, and it makes the boss fight very interesting. It makes it like almost a task, which makes it very fun. Because still, on a map, wherever that boss POI could be, there could be many different rotations you would like to do, you know? We have a lot of cars in the game now, and if you want to make a heavy dose amount of cars or a heavy dose amount of mobility work, that's the way to do it. Have a boss spawn in 5 minutes into the game that has a good mythic. That's a part of the execution process that I think they can definitely make Season 3 strong off. And I'm not concerned about it being that same old superhero theme season, okay? I think the superhero theme is very um fun. It can be very fun. And I enjoy superhero seasons in Fortnite. I know a lot of people don't, but I'm just kind of one of those people that does enjoy old themes as long as they feel somewhat new. I don't complain about it. I'm not very picky, you know? I don't try to be picky with video games. Like, when I heard the Star Wars season was coming out, it's like, this is the same old theme, I thought to myself. And then I played and I'm like, okay, as long as it has good weapons, balanced meta, um, and fun to it, with how rounds can be different or matches can be different, that's what I like. And that's what this season has, and that's why I've been having quite a bit of fun with this season. And I think Fortnite needs to build on that. Guys, Epic Games, they hurt it last season. If you still think Epic is lazy, I would be careful on that take now. Epic has heard enough. They've heard it from their player base. They've probably seen enough of their laziness. I bet Epic has looked themselves in the mirror and have seen the feedback and they've seen the things and they realize it themselves. Now they're going to start really trying to make this game what it should be because they know that the game's starting to die and they know that they need to make something work. And if we can get good collabs that bring fun medallions, fun mythics, good pace of play, and variety throughout different matches, that's what we need. And then the biggest question. Will Season 3 break the curse of few Season 3s? Although I don't think Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 Season 3 are as bad as people say. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to say maybe. It really depends on what I talked about with execution. We don't want some bad biomes the community doesn't like. Although for a new biome and a superhero theme, I don't think it's going to be some bad jungle biome or something. So anyways, I'm hoping this season is like a Chapter 2 Season 3 season, where everyone gets to see a good Fortnite Season 3 for the first time in a while. And also something I want to note when it comes to this is Epic improving their stuff, is they asked us a very important question in a survey. We'll talk about that next video. But for now, let me know how you guys feel about Season 3. Are you hyped, or do you really want some Epic to have something to prove in Season 3s? Or are you just going to sit out Season 3, assuming it's not going to be good, or are you going to try out Season 3 and see how it goes, and decide if you want to sit out or not? Let me know. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Love y'all. Take care. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.